A figure stirred on the couch. She had watched him come in, his hair disheveled, his body dragging. Her eyes had followed him as he sat down, but she had waited motionless. Perhaps he had come back to kill her. She lay shivering. Then his voice called her name. Standing slowly, Rita waited. He was asleep, but he had called her. She moved cautiously over the heavy carpet. Mallare opened his eyes. He looked at the burning-eyed figure of the girl his hands remembered having killed in the strange street. A hallucination, his thought muttered. But the dead do not come back. The scene under the green-white street lamp played its swift detail through his mind again. He remembered the white throat, the pale, imploring face. A shudder passed his heart. He had murdered her, yet here she stood once more, looking at him. Mallare smiled. Ah, he thought, mad, completely mad. Yet it is not as unpleasant as I feared. Why, indeed, am I startled? This is what I desired, to create for myself, out of myself. And here my phantoms have become so rich and strong that they confront me. I desired to be God, and I have answered my own prayer. It is an illusion. Its substance is only the life of my madness gives it. Yet I, who am the companion of my madness, may enjoy it. Rita shivered again as he laughed. Come closer, he whispered to her. Or are you too timorous a hallucination, Rita? Come closer and let me see. What a curious sensation. To caress the figures of my madness. Then there is no longer any sanity in me, for my fingers are aware of hair. Ah, dear child, Mallare is completely mad since at last his senses betray him. But they betray him sweetly, for though I babble to myself, you have no existence. Though I smile at the thought of caressing a phantom, my senses derive a mysterious pleasure from this contact with nothingness. Curious, curious. Come closer, Rita. Now smile at me. Yes, your lips move. You are an automaton, born of my words. Give me your hand. It is warm and trembling. Ah, my phantom is in love with me. But that love, too, is an illusion I create. No, do not come too close. Let me grow accustomed first to my madness. You are happy, eh? How marvelous your eyes. They were beautiful before, when they crawled like round spiders through my brain, but elusive. They fled from me, my madness pursuing them into dark, empty corners. But now I have grown cleverer. It is necessary to be superbly clever in order to fool one's senses like this. But take off your clothes, little one. I see how clever I am. I want to see how clever I am. Has my phantom a body too, or is it only a face and illusion of the fabric I have created? Your velvet dress, Rita, take it off. Ah, what a virginal phantom. Rita, trembling before the gleam of the eyes that had opened to her, listened anxiously. An ecstasy drifted like a cloud over her senses. He had touched her. His hands had passed over her head, as she had dreamed they might. His eyes were smiling with intimacy at her face. But he had warned her never to speak. She must not spoil it by speaking. She stood swaying before him. Your velvet dress, he repeated. Her hands reached dreamily to her body. He would see now how beautiful she was. The men in the caravan had called her beautiful, but she had run from them. That was long ago. Now she would show him how the skin of her body looked, how her breasts made pretty curves, and how she had washed herself in the perfumes he had given her. Ah, murmured Mallare, his eyes filling with wonder. How incredibly clever my madness has become. My little phantom undresses. Illusion. Yet my conveniently stupid senses are deceived. But what delicious deception. See, her throat and breasts are white. Her body is white. I may reach out and touch the flesh of her thighs. I am as indecent as God, for I have given her sex. But what a plagiarist I am. My phantom is as charming and naive as an art student's copy. Still, she is not a woman, and therefore not hateful. Without life, even this may be considered entertaining. His hands move cautiously over her body, his fingers slipping experimentally over the flesh of her buttocks and thighs. Interesting, he smiled. Like St. Anthony, I create obelisks for my seduction. Ah, but there is a difference. This is mine. Mine. His eyes gleamed with a quick frenzy at the naked figure. Speak. I desire you to speak, little one. If I can believe in the illusion of flesh and eager eyes, then I can believe in the illusion of sound. Come, speak. I am at the mercy of my madness. If you speak to me, little one, I will understand. My stupid senses that retain their earthly logic will be ravished at the sound of your voice. But I will chuckle at my cleverness. Tell me, are you mine? Can you say I am yours? Can you give yourself to me and deceive me with the beautiful illusion of submission? Tell me, speak to me. Her eyes burning toward him, Rita nodded her head. Yours, she whispered. Whatever you say I am. Clever, clever, Mallare muttered. It speaks to me and I hear. It says yours. I become too involved. Or perhaps this is only a dream. Of course, what else can it be? Part of me has fallen asleep and is dreaming. And because I am mad, I fancy myself awake. And my senses obey me. Desire whispers to them. Hear voices. See flesh. Feel desire. And like 5 little awkward masochists, they prostrate themselves before my madness. But my other senses are of no great interest. There is this other, this mania of possession, of which passion, compounded of all the senses, is but an unimportant fragment. I am a man with a woman inside him. I possess the secret of the hermaphroditic gods. I am complete. Rita kneeled beside him, and his hand stroked her black hair. Her face remained raised in adoration. Mallare, observing her eyes, nodded satisfaction at them. Who but Mallare could have done this? He whispered aloud to her. Mallare, infatuated with himself, desires still a further adoration. So he creates infatuated phantoms. I am tired now. My hands are tired. Return, little one, to the couch of my madness, and sleep for a time in its shadows. Mallare shut his eyes, and his hands dropped to his side. Rita arose and smiled at him. He had spoken strangely, but his words were no longer mysteries since he had caressed her. She would lie now at his feet as she had dreamed of doing. She stretched herself out on the thick carpet. Her childish mind fondled its unexpected memories. He had looked at her body and spoken beautiful words to it. She remembered the talk of the old ones in the caravan. A woman belongs to a man. This meant that she belonged to him. She had said, yours. Her face smiled itself to sleep.